Hi there, my Dynamite pals. We're back for another day of dinosaur learning. Today we're going to talk about some of the names of different dinosaurs. We'll look at why they look different, how their body helped them to protect themselves or made them fast or slow, or helped them to eat plants or meat. We'll learn some special science words that mean meat eater, plant eater, or something that eats both meats and plants. And we'll sing some fun songs. We'll also read a special book. Oh, say, can you say dinosaur? It's a special Cat in the Hat book. We know Cat in the Hat and we love him. Let's start with a fun song. Let's look at some of my dinosaur friends that I have next to me, like Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus has a big long neck and he kind of had a little hump on top of his head. He kind of looks like a few other long-necked dinosaurs, like his friend Apatosaurus or Brontosaurus, but we could tell it's a Brachiosaurus from his little hump on top of his head. We see our friend Spinosaurus. He had sharp teeth and short arms. He was walking on 2 feet and he had a big like fan on his spine. His name is Spinosaurus. We're also going to sing a song with our friend Triceratops. Tri means 3, and he had 3 big horns on his head for protection because the bigger, faster dinosaurs like T-Rex wanted to eat him. But his special crest that was around his head acted like a special helmet. It was very hard for the T-Rex to bite it, and he had these big spiky horns to protect him and make sure the T-Rex couldn't bite him. So eventually the T-Rex would give up and go try to find something else to eat. We have our friend Stegosaurus. We know him because he has his big spikes all over his back, all the way up to his head, from his head all the way to his tail. And of course, we're going to talk about our friend T-Rex, the scariest dinosaur, right, with the biggest teeth. But he had super short arms, so he had to make sure that whatever food he was going to get, he had to be able to bite with his big sharp teeth. He was very fast, though. Let's read our special book, then we'll do our fun songs. Oh, say, can you say dinosaur? I'm Cat in the Hat. You've met me before. Today I will speak of the great dinosaur. Dinosaurs lived on the earth long ago, before you and me. So how do we know? We learned about how do we know from fossils. Dinosaur teeth, eggs, and bone got stuck in the muck. That muck turned to stone. These fossils are old. They are dusty and worn because they were made long before you were born. Remember, we said millions of years. Not hundreds of years, not thousands of years, but millions of years long before we were born. Dinosaur hunters dig in the ground. All over the earth, these fossils are found. The hunters use tools to chip all day. The fossils come loose, then they pack them away. What's that special name for the dinosaur hunters? Do you remember? Paleontologists, that's right. Fossils can crumble because they are old, so dinosaur hunters must first make a mold. We learned about that too last week. To the dinosaur labs, every bone, tooth, and bit is carefully shipped to see how they fit. Is this a leg bone? Maybe a muzzle. It's a crazy mixed up dinosaur puzzle. That's right, we learned that they find the bones separate and then they have to piece them together like a dinosaur puzzle. Step up and enter the museum hall where dinosaurs stand. Some are big and some are small. Here we will play the best of all games. Oh, say, can you say these dinosaur names? They're kind of big names, right? So we're going to practice them and we'll say them together. And after you've said them, you can get to see them in the Cat in the Hat's Super Dino Museum. Dinosaur names are not easy to read, but give it a try. I will help if you need. Let's learn some special dinosaur names. Ready? Ankylosaurus. Oh, can you say Ankylosaurus with a club for a tail and a back full of spikes? That dino was strong like an army tank. Yikes! Wow, look at all the spikes. That's to protect him, right? Remember we learned that some of the stuff on their body is for protection against the bigger dinosaurs that might come and try to eat him. So he has big spikes and a big body that was super strong. Now can you say Maiasaura? Go ahead, try Maiasaura. There's one thing we know that this dino did best. She kept her kids cozy and safe in their nest. She kept the nest tidy. She got her kids food. She was a good mother to her dino brood. A brood is like a group. So look at her little baby eggs. She was a good mom, the Maiasaura. Can you guess who it is? Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now we say Tyrannosaurus Rex. You said that quite nicely. Now you'd better go. T-Rex is no kitten. I think you should know. Look at his sharp teeth. Ah! The T-Rex, that's how we say Tyrannosaurus Rex for short, T-Rex. This T-Rex was strong with long teeth sharp as knives. When most dinos saw him, they ran for their lives. T-Rex was a hunter. He hunted for meat. Other dinosaurs were his idea of a treat. Carnivore is the name that we give to dinos like this, who ate meat to live. Carnivore. Can you say carnivore? That means they like to eat meat. And the meat that they would eat was other dinosaurs. Oh, can you say Triceratops? Let me hear you. Triceratops. This dinosaur's head had 3 horns upon it, sticking up out of his hard sort of bonnet. Remember we said around his head. But though he was smaller and not half as fierce, his head was too hard for the T-Rex to pierce. So after a few dozen snaps at his face, T-Rex looked for dinner in some other place. Remember, we said it was so strong, his head, that the T-Rex would give up because it was too hard to bite him, and especially with his 3 horns. Oh, can you say Apatosaurus? Apatosaurus? I've gotten this rather tall ladder here for us to see eye to eye with Apatosaurus. These dinos' long necks reached up high into the trees, where they fed on green leaves just as much as they please. Herbivore. Can you say herbivore? Herbivore is the name that we give to dinos like these who ate plants to live. His neck was long so he could reach the tops of the trees. That's right. That's where he would get those big leafy greens to eat. Get a big long neck to reach to the top of the trees. Oh, remember, here's our friend Brachiosaurus. He's got the little hump on top of his head. That's how we know it's Brachiosaurus. Can you say Brachiosaurus? This dino was taller than 51 feet. And just how much food do you think he could eat? Nearly as much as a truckload of hay is what he would gobble day after day. Wow, that's how he grew to this size, as you see. The cat in the hat just comes up to his knee. That's how big he was. He's nowhere as smart as you or as me. His brain is the size of a small zucchini. Even though he had a big long neck and a big body, his head was small and he had a small brain. Iguanodon. Can you say Iguanodon? What did he do with his thumb? We think that we know. We think that he used it to jab at his foe. His foe is his enemy, and he had a big spike on his thumb. Can you give me a thumbs up? Imagine if that thumb was a big spike. That's what Iguanodon had. Now say Deinonychus. Can you say Deinonychus? Terrible claw is what his name means. We think that this dinosaur hunted in teams. So you could tell there was hunter dinosaurs, and then there was the dinosaurs that ate plants. The hunter dinosaurs eat meat or other dinosaurs, and those other dinosaurs like to eat plants. Some of them did like to eat both. We'll talk about what that means. Can you say Archaeopteryx? Archaeopteryx. This fine feathered friend is the earliest known. This bird might have glided. This bird might have flown. One thing we must ask, and we must be quite firm, if this bird was so early, did he catch the worm? Haha. It's getting late now. I see night is falling. The museum is closing. Your mother is calling. Before you head home, dear Sally, dear Nick, I have a surprise that is really quite slick. This dino's the earliest cat that is known. No one has seen it. It's never been shown. It's super terrific. It stands here before us. Oh, say, can you say Cat in the Hatosaurus? He's joking. Is that a real dinosaur? No. He turned his name, Cat in the Hat, into a dinosaur, Cat in the Hatosaurus. You could do it too with your name. My name would be Misanosaurus. How funny is that? What's your dinosaur name? Now let's look at some of the different animals that would eat meat versus the ones that would eat plants and what their name is. We learned it in the book. Let's review, and we'll talk about the word for dinosaurs that like to eat meat and plants, just like us. Some of us eat meat and plants too. So if we look on that poster over there, we could see some of the different dinosaurs that like to eat meat. We call them carnivores. Can you say carnivore? Good. We see the Velociraptor, the T-Rex, the Baryonyx, the Megalosaurus. We know they like to eat meat because of some clues from their fossils. Do you remember what the clues are? Their big, sharp teeth. That's right. Their sharp teeth were used for ripping meat. Dinosaurs. Some of them were carnivores. They used their pointy teeth to eat other animals they call meat. Dinosaurs. Some of them were carnivores. Carnivores means they ate meat with their sharp teeth, like the T-Rex. Then we have dinosaurs that ate only plants. Those are called herbivores. Can you say herbivores? Good. Some of the herbivores are the Brachiosaurus, this guy with his long neck to reach up to the top of the trees. I eat wood. It tastes good. No meat. Big feet. I eat wood. And our friend, the Triceratops, he was just eating plants too. That's why he needed his protection from the other carnivores that wanted to eat him. That's why his spikes and his big pointy tusks on his head helped him to protect him from those other dinosaurs that wanted to eat him. We also see the Stegosaurus. That's who we talked about before too, our friend. Stegosaurus was a plant eater. Stegosaurus had the brain about the size of a walnut. That's so small. But he was the size of a bus. So his brain was so small, but his body was so big. And you could see a bit of a difference between the ones that eat meat. Usually they're runners, so they're fast because they're hunters. And they're on 1-2 feet and they run. Usually the ones that are plant eaters are on 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. Just like Stegosaurus Triceratops, and our friend Brachiosaurus. They all are on 4 feet. You can see that all of the ones on the poster for carnivores are on their 2 feet. It makes them faster runners like us. We run on 2 feet. We don't crawl on all 4s, our hands and our feet. We run with our 2 fast legs. And some other ones, like our friend Brachiosaurus with the long neck, you could see Apatosaurus. He looks kind of the same. They also have big long tails and big long necks. You could tell they were plant eaters from another clue from their fossils. Do you remember what it is? Did they have spiky, sharp teeth? No, they had flat teeth for chewing leaves. Did you know that they got so big and strong though, even though they only ate plants? That's called herbivores. Can you say herbivores? Dino, dino, dinosaurs. Some of them were herbivores. They like to eat the trees and leaves. I wonder if they'll eat my peas. Dino, dino, dinosaurs. Some of them were herbivores. So we have carnivores, meat eaters, and herbivores, plant eaters. Do you know the name for ones that like to eat meat and plants? Just like us, most of us like to eat meat and plants. That's called omnivore. Can you say omnivore? Good. Dino, dino, dinosaurs. Some of them were omnivores. Like people, they eat plants and meat. They find both of them are good to eat. Dino, dino, dinosaurs. Some of them were omnivores. I want to know what you eat that's meat, like a carnivore, or that's plants, like a herbivore. If you eat only plants, like a herbivore, we call that a vegetarian. If you eat only meat, that would be kind of silly. We need to eat plants and meat. That would be an omnivore if you eat both plants and meat. Let me know what you eat that makes you either a carnivore, a herbivore, or an omnivore. I can't wait to hear how you're like a dinosaur too. And I want to hear your dinosaur name. Remember, I'm Miss Anasaurus, and I'll see you tomorrow.